excited with the line of questions. We just want to know who you are as a person. And today we are joined by the lovely Miss Nina Brooks. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are y'all doing?
Great.
You know, one day at a time. One day. So thank you again for blessing us tonight. So just let everybody know who you are, where you from, and what do you do?
My name is Nina Brooks. I am from Pennsylvania. I hail from Pittsburgh and Philly. So
Shout out.
I'm a straight up PA girl. Was born in York, raised in Philly, and then raised in Pittsburgh. And right now I'm based in LA. So I'm out here because obviously I'm in the film industry, but I recently just released my first novel. So I do a lot of things. So I'm a published author. I'm also a film producer, writer, and director. And in my real life, for my bread and butter, I'm an IT professional. So I'm what's called a product manager, and I lead like major IT implementations for organizations. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the book. And I'm very proud of my first body of work, which is based on my life.
Wait, what team do you root for?
Team Nina. Team Nina.
I'm like, yo, the Eagles, the
Pittsburgh,
the Steelers.
Oh, you mean as far as football?
Yeah.
Oh no, I bleed black and gold, baby.
Okay. You know, I was down in one time for work for what I do now. Yeah. I had to go. You heard of Slippery Rock?
Yes, I know Slippery Rock.
Yeah, that's where we train at for my position that I'm in with the government. So we wasn't too far from Pittsburgh.
That's nice.
We didn't go though, but yeah. So we got the book. So let's talk about this the book you put out and was there what authors have inspired you? Like, were you inspired by some authors to write, or how did that come across with you being an author?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't even know that I could write. I was encouraged to write by my fiance. Okay. I sent him a very long text message one day.
Okay. You got your point across?
Yeah, when he read it, I thought he was, the typical male response is okay.
Definitely.
Or I understand, because, after about 3 or 4 sentences, that's when y'all shut down. But he read the whole thing. And when he read it, he asked me where the rest of it was. I had gone through some things in my life. It was a pivotal moment in my life where I've gone through a lot of loss, and my heart was just heavy, and I was transitioning in so many different ways. And I sent him this message, and he said, you know what, it would be a shame for you not to share this with the world. And I said, you mean like a book? And he said, yeah. And I said, I'm not a writer. I mean, I've written papers for graduate school, but I'm not a writer. And he said, yes, you are. So I said, let me wrap my brain around that. So it took me a couple of weeks to think about it. And so I basically just structured it the same way I did my thesis and started writing along that framework. And I've been an avid reader my entire life. And I have always loved to read all types of different genres. Some of the most important books that I've probably read in my life were by Stephen King, who's kind of dark. I've always loved romance novels, right? When I was 10 years old, I started writing the V.C. Andrews series. And those of us that are my age know what that is. Always an avid reader in my life, and was always hungry for knowledge and read everything. I think the first book that made an impact on me was Helen Keller, the story about her, and then The Diary of Anne Frank. So I've always loved very profound true stories as well. But as I got older, I started, dipping off into other more advanced novels. And one style of writing that I really, really like, and I don't remember the author's name because it's been a while since I read the book, but it was the author that wrote Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey. So if you read 50 Shades of Grey, not the content, but if you read this, if you take a look at the style of writing that the author does and the way the chapters are set up in the book and the font and how easy it is to read the book and go along with the book, I love that style and try to model myself after that. And so that's kind of where I got my inspiration to really start doing the framework for writing, not the content, right, of the book, but really just the infrastructure of it.
E.L. James wrote
Okay.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I love the way it's written.
So basically you had faked the ID to work at a bar at a really nice club.
I did. I was 19 years old. My daughter was 2. I lost my mother to lung cancer. My mom died from lung cancer. I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, after I found out I was pregnant, then I found out that she had lung cancer. And that was a very difficult journey, being a kid myself, right? Being 16 years old. And my mother was a heroin addict who also had lung cancer. It was kind of difficult in life. And it was hard, so after she passed away, at the time, I didn't know my father or who he was. And so when she passed away, I was on my own, and I did what I had to do to take care of me and my daughter. So me and my best friend, who's also a sister to me, we got fake IDs and we went to this nightclub in Pittsburgh called Forbes Studio. And we got jobs, and I started out as a waitress and ended up becoming a bartender. And, while I was there, I was hustling, and that's kind of where the journey begins, to be honest.
So basically you are, if God gives his strongest battles to his toughest soldiers was a person.
Basically.
Yeah. But I can see, like, I always feel like that, like people who can, I guess God knows the people who can deal with the most, like, I believe that because you can go give that story back out to the world.
Well, like, that's the purpose for sharing the story, right? So I can give it back to the world, and I'm also starting my own foundation for young girls. I want to bring them into filmmaking and mentor them, and show them that there is a better way. I think that my purpose for being here on this earth, I think I'm living out that purpose each and every day, because I have shared my story. I have overcome so much, and I do not put a filter on that journey. I make sure that I share that journey, and every chance and opportunity that I get, I share my plight, and I try to talk to young people and just people in general, and try to inspire them with where I've been and how far I've come, to try to inspire them some way. Because I honestly feel like throughout all of the hardships that I've been through in life, and I list out a lot of them in the book, including losing my 27-day-old grandson in 2019. He was 27 days old and he passed away, and I have had so much loss in my life. Even during those darkest moments where you feel like, there's no way in the world that God is looking out for me, or there's no way in the world that this could be my destiny, or why is this happening to me and why me? I think that it's in those moments where we really find our strength and we really figure out who we are. You learn who you are, not who other people are, who's there for you, who's not there for you, because it's really not about them. It's about you and the person you are. And in those moments, you have to define yourself, and you have to figure out what you're going to do about the situation that you're currently in. Not what anybody else is going to do for you, but what are you going to do about the situation that you're in, and how are you going to overcome it? So I think that the purpose for me writing the book, because it's the first book in a series, I plan to write 2 more. I think the purpose for the book and the TV series that I created based on the book is to share my story and inspire people and show them that, like you said, God gives his toughest battles to, his strongest warriors or his toughest soldiers. I don't know if I'm a warrior or a soldier. I'm just Nina. And I just get up every day, and I show up every day, and I make a decision on who I'm going to be each and every day.
I Feel that. So, and the book is called for people out there. I believe the book is called The Lovers.
It's called The Lovers. Yes.
And it's kind of and it's an all true story with different names in it, or basically okay. Because I was checking out the notes that we were sent to us.
Yeah, so there are different names about the characters, but it is based on a true story about my life. And The Lovers is about different relationships that I've had in life, not just men, but relationships that I've had with my mother, and ultimately the relationship that I have with myself, who is the ultimate lover, right? And so that's what I closed the book with. So we fall in love so many times in life, but I think more importantly, we should fall in love with ourselves and give ourselves the most love that we would like to receive, and the way we would like to receive that from others, we should give it to ourselves.
I would say, what are some things you do for self-care?
Some of the things that I do for self-care, I meditate heavily, 3 to 4 times a week. I try to give it my best to do that. Other things I do for self-care is I make sure that I work out. I relax a lot. I do. I relax a lot. I try hard not to let people or things, especially external things that have nothing to do with me, stress me out. I try to eliminate as many toxic relationships out of my life as I possibly can, including the relationship that I'm currently in. If any negative or toxic energy comes my way, I try to find a way, to overcome that and defeat that and eliminate that from our lives. Because one thing that I also don't hold on to is hatred, anger, and grudges. I forgive easily. I let go easily, and I don't hold on to anger. I've found through my journey of meditation that it takes me to a higher plane and connecting with God, and it allows me to confront and deal with situations a lot easier. Not to say that I don't make mistakes and I don't have issues in my life, because we all do, right? But it's how you deal with them and how you overcome them. So those are the things that I do for self-care. I take long baths. Just, I drink wine once in a while.
I was looking for my wife the other day. I was like, where is she? And she in the bathroom. She got the candle on.
Right.
She put a little sage thing on the faucet. I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah, I burn sage. I burn sage and I burn incense, and all of that. I'm here for it. I do all of that. I have a diffuser. My best friend Jamie gave me a diffuser. I turn that on with my scents, and I use a lot of lavender oils. I use a lot of oils too. Like scents are really good for calming. So
yeah, because she loves eucalyptus and peppermint.
Me too.
I'm like, yo, why you got all this? Man, look, no, she a koala bear, yo. Like, look. She got all this eucalyptus all over the place.
Peppermint, lavender, patchouli.
Yeah.
Yes.
She got all of that.
How you meditate? How do you meditate?
I have like different styles of meditation. So I do mindful meditation. I also clear my chakras, which are my energy points. I balance and clear those. I do manifestation meditation. So I literally have manifested everything in my life. I manifested the book. I manifested the TV series. While I was writing the book, I spoke it out loud and said I should turn it into a TV series. And I did that a year and a half later. Any and everything that I've been blessed with in my life has been a part of my manifestation through prayer and lifting things up to a higher power, and actually seeing those things and visualizing them, and have watched them come to fruition by putting in the work to help make them happen as well. So that's another method of meditation that I have. Other methods of meditation I have are just when I sit and talk to God.
Yeah, that's really good. Yep. I got two quick questions. So, writing the book, so writing about you essentially, but changing, some of the names or whatever. Was that energizing or exhausting?
Cathartic and really hard. Writing was really difficult because I had to relive a lot in my life that I had buried, put away, and, just basically walked away from in life so that I could move forward. And when I started writing, I had a lot of moments where I really just wanted to quit because I cried so hard, probably for so many days in a row until I got myself together, and can come back to it. It was really difficult. And at first I wrote the book with real names. Then I had to go back in for legal purposes. My publisher, shout out to We Publishing, my publisher said, "Oh no."
Yeah, I would say you was wilding.
No, I was going to answer that too. That was one of my other questions. Like, how did the editing? You had to go and do some edits, right? Even though you're trying to be, even though you didn't want
edits. 3 edits. My editor was like, "Look, check this out. I'm getting real tired, Nina. This is the 3rd edit."
You had no filter when you was writing. You was like, "Yo, I'm putting everything on there," but they was like, "Whoa, slow down there."
Yeah, my publishing company was like, "Whoa, listen, and I'm gonna need you to fix this, and I'm gonna need you to fix that." And
You're no, like, that's my life. I ain't fixing it.
Yeah.
And being an author now, are there some authors that you didn't really like in the beginning or whatever, but now that you're an author, you might like them more? Or you start reading other authors' books more? Because I know sometimes, it's like, I don't really understand what they were doing, but now that I'm an author, I can see how they what their writing style is.
Not really, but I will tell you something that's really relevant to that question is I never understood how difficult the writing process was until I started doing it. The book, I've rewritten that book 3 times, so maybe 4. I mean, starting from the very beginning all the way to the end, I've rewritten it several times. So, yes, it's very hard. You develop a great respect for writers, no matter what level they're on. If they're an independent writer or if they're backed by a major publisher, you just gain a lot of respect in the writing game, because to actually have the patience to sit down and put together a full manuscript end to end and finish it, I think that's a great accomplishment. And I've earned a lot of respect for that. It's very different from screenplay writing. Because I write screenplays, my editor was frustrated with me because she said, "I feel like I'm reading a movie script." Right? Because my writing style for screenplay writing was filtering over to the book. And I had to, because I didn't go to school to write. I went to school for IT, right? So I had to unlearn that writing style and relearn a new writing style in that process. So, any way that you were taught to do something, I think you start out doing it that way until you have to unlearn it and then learn it again if you want to develop it and make it better. And each and every time you write, you become better and better at it.
Yeah, I like that. And I got one other one before. So, well, yeah, I'll come back. I'll ask now. Do you view writing as like a something spiritual? Like, did you go through was like a spiritual thing for you as well, writing the book?
Very spiritual for me, writing the book. It put me in touch with myself. It put me in touch with a higher power. Seriously, it put me in touch with God. It also put me in touch with those that have passed on already. And I felt that at times that they were there to guide me through the process, because developing the book was in conjunction with developing the script, in conjunction with developing the pilot episode, right? And so many things that were spiritual happened at the same time. Like, people who were casted, one woman that was casted has the exact same birth date as my mother. And she actually was playing the role of my mother. And I didn't know that until after the fact, right? Things like that were happening. And I just felt very close to my mom, who I lost in '89 while I was writing. And it's a spiritual process as well as a cathartic process. And what I mean by cathartic is, you get an opportunity to release everything that you keep inside of you when you're writing. So definitely thank God for God, because otherwise I would have never written, and I would have never accomplished something like releasing a book. It took me 3 years to do it.
You know what's funny? I was going to read some of the book, so I just purchased the book. But I meant to purchase the Kindle version so I can read it right now. Ordered the paperback.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to my wife though, so she could read it.
I think she'll like it. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on the book, and not just from friends and family. People that are cool with you, that know you, and they'll say, "Oh, girl, your book was good." I mean, I've gotten great feedback, like, "Wow, that's a really good read," and I appreciate that. No ego.
Right.
No ego, no ego, humble, like, thank you, because it's my first time writing. And if you took the time out to sit down and read something that I wrote, when you could be doing something else, man, I have a great appreciation for that. So.
And I'm looking here, the screen, the TV show, or is it a movie? It's The Lover's Life. That's
Lover's
yours?
Life is a TV series, and I also wrote it as a feature film. So I haven't decided what I'm going to release, the feature film or the TV show yet. Still working on that.
So so the TV show is not out yet for us to view yet.
No, it's not. What I'm trying to do is either acquire funding to continue filming subsequent episodes, if I can find the right investors. Y'all hear me? And or acquire funding to film the actual feature.
I would say you better holler at 50 Cent.
Yeah,
he's doing everything right.
I've been trying to holler at 50. He don't hear me though.
If 50 will put you out there though, shit, 50 has some. He doing this thing with the movies right now.
No, that's what I said. I said with him, man, he didn't change the game too, because you know what it is? The people he worked with, them shows grip, like Power. You watch Power? Man, Power just grip you. Like, you can't wait for the next one to come on.
Well, this show is, it's This Is Us meets Power.
Okay.
Right? So that's, that's.
Before you go on, that's, okay.
That's the pitch.
Yeah.
This Is Us meets Power. That's it. Because there's a lot about love and life and family and drama and what we go through day to day. And then there's a lot about what I was doing and what my fiance was doing in the streets and how we were hustling and what we were doing. You know what I mean? Until we finally got to a point in life where we didn't have to do that anymore. And we started growing and learning and wanting more and better for ourselves, and weren't no longer in that survival frame of mind,
What you mean about Us?
Huh?
Her and the fiance.
When you said Us meet Power, who was Us? You talking
about?
No,
This Is Us. This Is Us. You ever seen that show? This Is Us? Oh yeah, it's a show. It's a show on TV. It's like different stories from different people, right? On This Is Us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was filmed in Pittsburgh, or it's based in Pittsburgh. Not filmed in Pittsburgh, but based in Pittsburgh.
I thought you was talking about. I know it's a movie called Us. Ain't a movie called Us?
Oh, not that movie. No, not that movie.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out. I was like,
that's a great movie, though. Yeah, I have great respect for that writer. But yeah.
And speaking of, I guess, TV shows, what TV shows are you currently watching right now?
Currently, I'm not watching any TV shows right now because I'm so busy. I do not have time. I'm traveling a lot. I travel for work. I travel for personal. And I'm working for a major nonprofit and trying to get them up to speed in their technology on a global effort. And I'm also working on my own projects. And then I'm working on another TV production project with the Baron J Foundation with a TV series that he's releasing. So I'm working on that. And I've got a lot of irons in the fire right now. So I don't have time to really sit and, get caught up into a TV series I watch the news and then I go to bed.
I can't even watch the news. I try to watch the news. It's just so sad, man. Like the news is the worst. You like what? Ain't no good stuff on the news.
Yeah,
I am watching this Arbery trial though.
Yes, I've been following that.
I said, look, come on now. Look, you can't insult the people's intelligence. I don't know. I feel like some cases shouldn't even last long as they last, right? Some trials are open and shut. Like, you have no self-defense and you have no citizen's arrest because it didn't meet any of those things. Why are we going to trial wasting all of this money?
So sad that our judicial system is the way that it is, right? And that everybody deserves a fair trial. That's very sad because I don't think everybody does. But,
no, that's true. I'd be like, come on now.
Yeah, but who am I?
True. And as an author and as a writer, a screenplay writer, what do you want to be remembered by when it's all said and done? How do you want to be remembered?
I think about that every time I start writing. I'm so glad you asked me that question. Nobody else has ever asked me that question.
That's why we did Just Two Black Bros. Shout out.
It's really about legacy. And what kind of legacy do I want to leave my family? I have right now 2 granddaughters. And my oldest granddaughter is 3. She's turning 4 in February. And my youngest granddaughter is just under a year. And they're coming up. And they are going to be watching me, just as my niece watched me, my nephew watched me, and my own children watched me, right? They saw me in a different light because they literally grew up with me. My niece and my nephew, my daughter, my sons, right? They literally grew up with me. But my grandchildren see me here now in a different space and they're watching me. And I want to be able to be that strong woman who has been successful and who has tried and strived, right? And is a true matriarch in her family. So when I start writing, I think about what I'm writing about. I think about the impact of what I'm writing. What impact is it going to make? And I also think about what truth am I willing to tell in it, right? And is my voice going to be heard? So whenever I sit down and I start to write, I really get into my characters. I get into the world that I create for them. I get into making sure that I'm keeping a smooth transition in between scenes. And I also make sure that all of my characters have their own voice and that they're strong. And I want people to remember me for the characters that I create. I want them to remember me for the truth that I tell. I want them to remember the story that I tell and the impact that it made and how it made them feel. Ultimately, I'm so much into that. How did I make you feel? So I want my granddaughters to look at that and I want them to continue my legacy, hopefully one day in life, because that's what it's all about.
That's what's up. No, we like to, because and this is what we tell the artists every time we come on here, man. Like, some people might not like, some people might not know you, but they might like you because of your story. I always tell people that because there's some artists we have on, people might not necessarily go gravitate toward the music, but once they hear them talk and hear their life story, they're like, you know what? That person not too bad. Let me go check out what they got going on. So,
right.
We try to like just see where people's head is at and meet them there so that we can give the people to talk to.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm gonna say I think it's kind of crazy too. Like if you do something so impactful on your family, were they talking about you like 500 years from now or 1,000 years from now?
Legacy.
Yeah, you gotta do something big for them to talk about you like that. For them to remember you through the years, because you know how like shit. You know how it is now. So I like what you were saying.
And also, like you said, can't nobody tell them babies nothing bad about Nana because the way they see her now, right?
That's right.
Look, well, they ain't my grandma, but they might be telling us.
My kids will be like, that ain't the woman that raised me.
Right.
Yeah,
But the grandbabies know, right? They said, nah, that's grandma.
That's right.
She outstanding.
That's Nani. You know, but my sons and my daughter might be like, shoot, y'all don't even know her. Like I know her, but my granddaughters they look at me differently, you know, and I see the way that she looks at me and the way she follows me around and, you know, and how she asks for me and she wants to call and talk to me on the phone. And, you know, me creating a legacy for her is so important, but not just her. Mm-hmm. All of the young women and young men as well that are coming up. Every chance I get, I try to, you know, lend myself an opportunity to talk to them if they're open. If they want it, right? If they don't want it, I don't force it. But I really do try to be supportive to young people and lend a listening ear or a supportive voice for them in this world because there's so little of that. I find that the Black families, you know, a lot of our Black families today, we are not supportive enough of one another emotionally, psychologically, or financially. And I think we need to do more of that within our family structure to lift up and give them that sense of community, give them that sense of love and support, not just, hey, I'm here for you emotionally or you listen to them, but really be there for them emotionally, psychologically, and financially, because we all need help without expectation of anything in return, simply because of the love that we receive. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's funny. We was just talking the other day, me and the wife, and it was like, dang, when the last time we told each other we love each other when you walk out the door? And it's not that you don't love the person. It's like you just get so caught up in, we got to get the kids up and take them to daycare, take them to school, and you rushing. It's like, yo, when the last time we actually was like, yo, all right, have a good day, love you, be safe. And then you got to catch yourself, and it's like, all right, you know what? But the kids, they'll notice stuff like that too. They be like, Daddy don't say he love mommy no more. I'm like, it ain't that. Right, I got a 6-year-old like that. He's so smart. He'll tell you straight up.
He'll tell you.
You gotta say that every day though, because you don't know what happened, man. Because you can just, you know, you'll never know what happened, so you can't just say it all the time. You can say it. That's why I be hearing all the time. People be like, "Well, I wish I would have said it one more time." So you never can take life for granted like that. Like you always gotta just say that all the time. That's what I think.
No, I agree.
I agree too. Me and my kids, we say it all the time. Whenever before me and my kids hang up the phone, it's so fluid and so much of a part of our vernacular that before we hang up the phone, okay, love you, Mom, talk to you, bye. That's like one sentence. Love you, Mom, talk to you, bye. You know, love you, talk to you, bye. Love you, baby, talk to you, bye. You know, and it's in them to do that, and we just do that automatically. I also think that it's important to make sure that you check on one another. Just check on me. Just check on me.
All right.
Yep. You ain't gotta have a long conversation, right? Just call and see how you doing.
Yeah, how you doing? Just check on me. Nothing. You don't even have to have a conversation. You all right?
You straight?
You good? All right, I'll talk to you later.
You're like, hey, and now that you asked, man, you got $200 like a hole? I'm like, God.
I know.
I ain't calling you no more.
There goes that financial support just flew out the window.
Hey, you know what? Because you know what, it ain't no problem doing it. Yeah. But you know what it is? You got that family that's going to be like, oh, he gave it to me last time.
Take it for granted. So, they think they can come every time.
They like, boy, I'm so glad you called your grandpa. You like, what you need, grandpa? Hey, man, my orthopedic shoes, I lost one of them at the church. I'm like, you lost. No, this is a true story. You lost one of your orthopedics and you need me to help you buy another pair? How much they cost? How much they owe? But see, that's the thing. They get you because I'm like, how much they cost? They're like, well, the last ones I bought cost $150. I'm like, man, no orthopedics cost no $150. Trying to go to play bingo and buy some lottery tickets with the change. Right? But no, yeah, I agree. We got to check on each other, and that's us as the Black community, man, the minority community. I mean, you know, I think we trying. I think our young folk are trying.
I do too.
But I think you know what, I don't know, because like when George Floyd was killed, they were out there. I said, man, look at the young folks out there. They marched. I'm in Brooklyn, New York, so they marched right by my house, and that was like a proud moment for me, feeling like an OG watching all the little kids walk by screaming out, "No justice, no peace." Yeah,
dope, wasn't it, to see that display of solidarity and unity and really seeing them have a voice. Whereas our generation, we didn't really have, we had nothing to fight for, no nothing, right?
Did we have issues? We did. I mean, we did have issues. Now that I think about it, because I'm 41, so I'm like, we did have some issues, but we weren't out there protesting.
No, we wasn't. But they are, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I agree. So let's go back to the book real quick. So for the book, I know you talked about everything that you went through and what the book is about. What was the hardest scene to write? Like, what's the hardest chapter to write for you?
The last one.
About yourself?
Yes.
Why was that hard?
Was very.
Did you have to do some self-reflecting or something?
It was very challenging because I really wanted to tie in the whole purpose for writing the book. And I got so caught up in writing about my life and other people in it and different events that took place, that when it came down to writing a solid conclusion, like pulling everything together and tying everything together and making it solid and really creating a voice, I felt like at the end of the book, the book sounded like two different stories. Because right. So my editor had to give me some coaching and help me along that journey and talk to me about the reason why I was writing that. You know, what voice was I trying to have at the very end? How did I want it to be heard? And who was I trying to reach? And to not lose sight of the whole purpose for writing the book, because naturally I'm an emotional human being. So you get so caught up in the way that you feel that you really forget and you start losing focus on purpose, right? And so it was so hard. I must have rewrote the end chapter, I don't know, 10 times. I kept rewriting it and rewriting it and rewriting it. So that was the most challenging part, was coming up with a solid conclusion for the book to close it.
Yeah, hearing you say that, I said, man, you know, some of these judges in these courts should be like, I'm gonna sentence you to write an autobiography of yourself and present it back to the court in a certain amount of time.
Yep.
Then we'll talk about your sentence after that.
How about that?
Yeah, I think they should do something like that, because I bet you a lot of people be like, "Ooh, I'm jacked up."
You start discovering who you really are.
Yeah, they should do something like that.
When you start writing about yourself and you're honest, you got to tell the truth too.
Right. You got to be honest. That's your sentence for now. Go write an autobiography and don't hold back nothing and bring it back to the court. Let us see what you got going on.
Tell the truth about who you are, not who you want to be, not your narcissistic self. Right?
You know what? It's funny because, you know, like we talk about the Black community all the time, man. We all got PTSD.
Don't we?
We all got it. Me and Poe talk about it all the time.
Yep.
We all got PTSD, but it's a stigma on expressing how you don't want to feel weak because you're talking about, oh man, I wake up in panic attacks or I take this and this to help me calm myself down or whatever. People don't want to talk about
getting therapy. I talk about getting therapy in the book and the importance of therapy in the Black community, especially. I talk about that, you know, and that there's nothing wrong with that. Even if you go to a spiritual counselor, you know, just so that you can unload on somebody that can take that information and organize it for you, right? Because we all counselors and therapists to each other.
That's a fact.
But if you can go to somebody that is trained on being able to take massive amounts of information and put them in categories and organize it for you, and then feed it back to you in a way that allows you to make your own decisions about your life, right? That is a true science, and that's what they do. And, you know, it's really just unloading it, getting it organized, structured in a way that you can figure it out, and then you make decisions about it, and then you move on with your life. That's really all it is. It is super duper important. But in our community, it's so taboo. Nobody wants to talk about, you know, going to the therapist. You know, she crazy, girl. You know, she crazy. She going to go see the funny doctor, you know. You know, they put her on medication and everything. And I don't think that medication is always the answer either. I think that really we just need somebody that we can connect with and talk to.
You're like, I'd be crazy if I don't go see him.
That's a fact. Look, you better be glad I went to go see that person, huh?
Listen.
No, but I think, but with us, this is the thing. We realize it's sometimes too late. Like I didn't start going to see a therapist till I was in my late 30s. So it's like, man, I needed this when I was like 16.
Yeah.
I needed this when I was like 17.
Right,
he probably younger than that. Right. Younger than that, probably. You never, man, the stuff that some of us went through as far as like, I'm the oldest of 8. Okay. So my dad was in and out the house. Well, out more than in, but
so whenever outside looking in.
man, look, yo. My dad wasn't around so much that one time I told them this last week. He went around so much that one time he called the house and I answered the phone. And he thought my mama had a boyfriend because my voice had changed already. And he came in the house so fast. Who the hell was that answering the phone? I'm like, it was me, your son, bro. Like the 14. I was like 13 years old. He about to go in on my mom. Yo, like you cheating on me with somebody? Like nah. So look, and as an oldest, you become a parent to the younger siblings. You know, so that's another thing. It's like, I can't go outside, man. I gotta go pick up my brothers. I gotta go do this and that. So we go through a lot of trauma.
Just imagine being the child of a parent who has an addiction problem, regardless of the addiction, whether it's alcohol,
like you, they parent,
or drugs. You do become their parent,
and
then you become your own parent. So you know you lack childhood. You're restricted from having a childhood in your life, and you become your own parent. And I remember, like, my aunt used to say I lost my cousin. She's one of the biggest reasons why I started writing this. Her name was Love. I lost her to cancer in 2016. We lost her in 6 weeks. And her mother is my mother's sister. When we were younger, she used to be like, you can't go over there because Nina too grown and she got too much freedom. But I was grown and I had freedom because I lacked supervision in life, and I was doing most of my own parenting, right? And I'm very transparent about that. And it's no disrespect to my mom at all. I have a great amount of respect, love, and admiration for her, and understand the disease that she carried in life. And she had so much love. There was never a lack of love in our household. She loved me and my sister so much, but she had a disease, which was addiction, you know. And as an adult and growing up through life, you begin to understand the plights of being an adult and what you have to struggle with, you know, and especially if you're struggling with something in your past, or if you're struggling with something internally, you start to recognize those struggles, and you'd be like, now I understand why people
right
do certain things, right? You know,
Definitely.
I get it. Even though I wouldn't do it, I get it. You know, but I don't know. I just think that for me, it was really difficult not having a childhood, and you do become a child parent in life. So you're right, Poe. That's exactly what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had an artist on a few months ago where his mom was addicted to alcohol, but she was drinking because of the pain. She was just stuff that she was going through in life, and she ultimately passed. And he had to catch himself because he started to drink when he was going through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, damn, I can't do the same thing that my mom did. But it was like one of those things where it's like, inadvertently, he just started, whenever he was going through something crazy, he would drink until he realized, like, I can't do that because that's what happened to my mom. But yeah, like, and that's how, yep.
It happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to the best of us, you know, but alcohol addiction is alcohol addiction. Heroin addiction is heroin addiction. Methamphetamine is methamphetamine. They all sit in their own category, right?
Definitely.
And they're all very hurtful to your families. And your children suffer the most if you have them, if you are in addiction. And I just want to tell anybody out there who's struggling with addiction that I hope that you can find that thing that is giving you the most pain And I hope that you can make peace with it. And I hope that you can find your way and just take it one day at a time, because it truly is a struggle. And me growing up and watching my mom struggle with addiction and how much she hated it. She didn't love it.
Right.
She didn't love what she was doing to her children. She didn't love going to jail from time to time. She didn't love being absent from us. She didn't love, watching us struggle financially. She didn't love it whenever I would cry and beg and ask her, to get clean. She didn't love that. She didn't love lying and making promises that she wouldn't keep, but she loved me and she loved my sister, but the drug just was so powerful over her life. And before she died, the day before she died, I made my peace with her and had the opportunity to tell her that I forgave her and that I loved her and that I understood that she had a disease and she did the best that she could for us. And I made peace with her before she left this earth. And therefore I carry no guilt whatsoever. No.
What's crazy? Because like you got me thinking now. So it's like, seeing things as a kid, I said I would never be that.
Oh yeah.
But you know what's funny? If you don't take care of your mental health, you'll turn into what you was running from.
Absolutely.
Wow. And I realized that I was like, you know what? I said I never want to be like this man. And then you catch yourself at sometimes like, damn, I'm just like my father. Like but like you said, mom didn't want to be that. But sometimes these things have a hold on you where it's like it could be and what it says, part of your DNA makeup, like yo, that's your daddy. Hey, look, you can't run from your daddy because that's part of you. But it's like, man, it's like I never want to be like the things that he did. But I know at times I've done things that he's done, and it was like, damn.
That's called predisposition. That's called predisposition.
It's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen, right?
You gotta have his chromosomes.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, them damn chromosomes struggles. I don't know what, because I ain't mean to do that.
Yeah.
But I did it.
I talk about that in the book as well. I talk about her struggle with addiction, and the impact that it had on me and my life. And I was just having this conversation with my fiance, with Chris, just yesterday. I said, I'm so glad that I never got caught up in drug use and abuse. I'm so glad that never happened to me. And I'm so glad that it hasn't happened to any of my children. Right. Mm-hmm. But I'm grateful to God that I've had the strength and the tenacity not to become a statistic, because naturally in this country, if you have a parent and you come from a certain socioeconomic status, a certain economic background, you are automatically casted into that same cycle. And I broke the cycle. I had a daughter at 16, and yes, I hustled. And yes, I did a lot of things. I sold drugs. I hustled. I bartended under the table. I went through abusive relationships. I had it difficult in life, but I pushed myself through high school and I pushed myself through undergrad and I pushed myself through graduate school and I got my master's of science, right? And I pushed myself through graduate school again for my MBA. And I just kept pushing and I pushed myself to learn how to be a screenplay writer. And I pushed myself how to be an author. And I pushed myself on how to be a producer and a director. And I continue to push myself and reach higher and higher each and every day. I'm always growing and learning. And I keep growing and God keeps moving me and he keeps pushing me. And my faith in him is so strong, and my belief in myself and my confidence in myself is so strong that I feel like there's nothing that I can't do. And I know what I won't do. And what I won't do is subject my life or the lives of my children and other people around me that care about me, love me, and depending on me, even if silently, I refuse to let them down. So I get up every day and I work really hard to become a better version today than what I was yesterday. And I think about it every night before I go to bed. I reflect on who I was today. What did I do? What could I have done better? And how am I going to be better tomorrow? And I wake up with that mindset every single day, even when I make mistakes, even when I haul off and say something I'm not supposed to say, that's hurtful to the next person. I think about what I said and how would I deal with that the next time if I ever encounter it again. So They say, the Bible says greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. And so
Definitely.
We all have God in us. And so that's what I keep with me every day, every single day. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be here, sharing my story with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very appreciative.
Appreciate you.
Of you bringing me on your program. Thank you.
Okay, I know, like I said, certain times you might not even be interested in what somebody got going on, but when you talk to them, you just want to support them. Like that's why I bought that. That's why we usually purchase our guests' music anyway to support them. But like I just felt compelled, like listening to your story, like, you know what, man, let me just go support her. My wife will probably read the book. She'll probably tell me about it. But I do appreciate you coming on here. And then looking over your life, is there a song, like, I actually guess this, like, is there a song you would say that you listen to that encapsulates your life? Like, you're like, man, when I listen to this song, man, that's me.
I just, I did that. I just had a birthday. 11/11 was my birthday.
Happy late birthday.
Thank you. And I picked a song on Facebook. I posted this picture and I picked this song on Facebook, and it's by her. And what is the name of that song? I'm sorry, guys, but I can't right now. Right now.
It's a newer song by her.
It's a newer song by her. And I can't remember the name, but it's on the Focus album. But in any case, I do have a song about myself. And I can't remember the name of it right now. It's totally escaping me. I apologize. But
Focus is an album by her? Oh, that's a song.
It's a song. It's called Focus,
yeah.
Right?
Well, Chris Brown did a remix of it, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's on the remix of it.
Oh, wow. She's got a nice
Yeah, I like her because you know what, she real. It's like that's that new R&B though. Like we always talk about that. Like our R&B growing up, the guys they had a lot of chivalry. Right. These new R&B artists ain't got no chivalry. They get straight to it, right?
They don't.
We always talk about that. It's like, damn, you ain't wine and dine or nothing. You just went straight back to your house.
They don't wine and dine. They don't want to take you nowhere. They don't want to spend no money on you. They don't want to open no doors for you. Looking at you like, what's wrong with you? You can't open the door?
They're like, matter of fact, we taking this food to go. We going to my house to eat.
I'm telling you. Crazy.
No, that's
right?
how it is. That's how it is.
That's exactly how it is.
But we appreciate you though, Poe.
I was thinking about that Pretty Ricky song too, because it's like it's 5 a.m. It sure win. No, it was nice talking to you. I think
the song is called "The Best Part." I think that's what the song.
Oh yeah, Life is a Movie. The best part.
The best part, yeah.
I saw her live. She was tight.
Hey, Poe is that's R&B Poe right there. He be singing.
Yeah. I got that song on vinyl.
You did?
Yeah, Kim gave it to me for my birthday. I got 2 copies.
Oh, that's a nice birthday present.
When was your birthday?
January 2nd.
Oh, you got a birthday coming, Capricorn.
Me too. I'm a Pisces. I'm in February.
Oh, wow.
I was waiting on you to say the song. I thought you was gonna say that Jocelyn song. Do it like it's your B-Day. Do it like it's your B-Day. I was thinking you was gonna say that song.
All right, last question before we get out of here. We always leave the guests with a thinking question. So you hosted a dinner party. You can invite 3 people to this dinner party, dead or alive, in the history of people. Who would you invite to this dinner party and what would you serve them?
I would invite my grandmother. I would invite oh, that's a hard question. I got so many people going through my mind. That's a very, very hard question. I would probably I would invite my grandmother. I would probably want to invite one of the great goddesses of not of our time. I mean, I would probably want to invite an Egyptian goddess, like maybe, like maybe Nefertiti or the Black Madonna, right? I would definitely wouldn't mind inviting one of them to the table. And I would probably also want to invite a great warrior like Shaka Zulu, right? Not these prominent figures that that propaganda has built them up to be, and man has written them in history. Not to say that they weren't great people, and that they didn't do great things, and that they didn't accomplish great things. I really think about philosophers and teachers and warriors, people who, before any of the things of our time, technology even came into play, these people were at the forefront of that. And they were the architects of war, and they were the architects of science and mathematics. The Egyptians were people like Shaka Zulu, great warrior, great king, right? Great leader. So I have something to take from them. And what would I serve them? And my grandmother, whom I emulate, I'm writing a TV series about her right now. My grandmother, what would I serve them? I would probably just serve them the best soul food dinner that I could ever come up with in my life. You know, I would serve them the best. I would serve them macaroni and cheese and collard and kale greens mix. You know what I mean? I would fry some red snapper and mix. Oh yeah, they gonna get down then. Yeah. Look, if you need a voice actor, let me know. I'll do it for free for you. Awesome. Let me know. Thank you. I will let you know, because I need a female voice actor right now. I need somebody to do a voiceover for me right now. So as an intro to the talk to the wife. Does she do voiceover? What your wife do stuff like that, Paul? You on mute? Yeah. Oh yeah, his wife, because she was a publisher. Yeah. What? ASMR. Oh yeah, please. Give her my contact information. I'm looking for a voiceover. I do. I'm not kidding either. I need a voiceover actress, because that's one reason why I haven't made a decision about what I'm going to do with my pilot yet, is because I need an intro, because I've rewritten an intro script and I'm totally redoing the entire intro to it, and probably break it down into a mini series and stream it that way. So yeah, that's dope. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is right now I have a 22-minute pilot, and being that I don't have the funds to do like a full 8-series season, I was thinking about breaking that down into like a 4-part mini series and stream it that way to try to recoup some funds, so that we could, do the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. But I'm going to add link to it by putting a voiceover on the front. Well, we'll be in touch. Let everybody know how they can find you, how they can purchase the book before we get out of here. You can purchase the book on Amazon. You can also purchase it as a Kindle book. You can find me on every social media platform. Seriously, just Google me, Nina Brooks. My Instagram handle is This Is Nina Brooks. You got a vinyl of the song. You put the song on vinyl. Yeah. What song though? The Need Me. Oh, yeah, that's dope. That is. He wrote a song and she made it in vinyl for you for your birthday. That's what's up. That's beautiful. I thought that was really Stevie Wonder. I'm like, that song's in the Nah, that's R&B post. I was feeling myself. Oh man! So look, we definitely gonna be in contact. We love to have you back on sure. But you can find me on Facebook. Okay. Nina Brooks. You can find me on Instagram. This is Nina B. You can find me on Twitter. This is Nina Brooks on Twitter. This is Nina B. You can find me on LinkedIn, Nina Brooks. So hit me up, Google me, and looking forward to hearing from you all. Thank you for your support. If you bought the book, thank you so much. If you do buy the book, I thank you in advance for your support. Thank you, Leo, for your support, and Poe for having me on today, and grateful to be in your space and share energy with you. What's the best podcast? Two Black Brothers. Hey. Oh, you take care. Be safe. Be safe. All right. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.